Welcome to the special February outlook. Show y'all a fun fact before we get into the forecast, and just a disclaimer, keep in mind that anything over a week out's virtually impossible to forecast as we cannot predict the future. Future is unnovel. February is the only month that can pass without a single full moon. This happens roughly every 2.7 years because the lunar cycle is about 29.5 days, and as we all know, February is typically 28 days long without a leap year, and it's known as the Black Moon. And for those who don't know what a black moon is, I typed it into the X's Grok AI machine. It is basically a term used in astronomy and popular culture to refer to a few different phenomena, but most commonly refers to the third new moon in an astronomical season that has 4 new moons instead of the usual 3. Since astronomical seasons are about 3 months long, this means a black moon occurs roughly every 2.7 years, as I mentioned earlier. The second new moon in a calendar month, similar to how a blue moon is the second full moon in a month. This definition is less commonly used, but still recognized. February is unique because it's the shortest month of the year, typically having 28 days and 29 during leap year. So basically, a black moon is very rare. We're not going to be seeing a black moon this year. The only time we see a black moon is during leap years. So we're not going to be seeing this year, unfortunately. Now, let's go ahead and get into the forecast. And first, we're going to take a look at the temperature, since I know y'all are sick of these cold temperatures because January is so brutal. We can see as we head into the beginning of February, we could be coming into an above average temperature trend for the central and eastern half of the country, while the western half is going to be in a below average pattern. But don't get fooled, because it's looking like well below average temperature is going to be in store for much of the country as we head into the middle of the month. And then the warm temperatures are going to start to come back as we head into the end of February and into March, which is looking like March could be a little bit below average. So even though the beginning of February is going to be starting off warm, it's looking like we're going to be cold and then warm again, and then it's going to be cold again. So basically what I'm saying is don't be fooled by this warm up in February, because winter is still here, y'all, and spring ain't here until the end of March. We can take a look at the Climate Prediction Center's monthly outlook. We can see the northern half of the country is below average. Equal chances means either below or above average. And really the rest of the country is looking to remain above average. So basically, before we take a look at the shorter range models, the longer range models are showing us that we could be heading into a little bit of a warm up as we head into the beginning of February, with a little bit of a cool down, warming up again, and then cooling back down, which means I've taken some severe weather, which we'll get into that here in a little bit. And I will include a severe weather outlook in my March outlook video, which will be at the end of this upcoming month, so be on the lookout for that. As far as precipitation goes, since we know January was a very snowy month, we can see heading into an above average precipitation pattern for much of the country. We see head into the beginning and middle parts of February, which could mean some wildfire relief down here in California. And it's really looking to be pretty soggy for much of the country as we head into this upcoming month and really into March as well. As we can see, the monthly precipitation outlook for the month of February, the Northwest and much of the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, and Northeast coming into an above average precipitation pattern, while the southern half of the country is dealing with some below average precipitation. But I would expect much of the country to come in on above average precipitation, which could mean an uptick in some severe weather down here in the deep south. So let's go ahead and take a look at whether or not we're going to be coming into that severe weather, at least according to the GFS. We can see today relatively dry much of the country, but as we head towards the end of this week, coming into some severe weather down here in the deep south. So it's looking like as we head into February, we could be coming in on an uptick into some severe weather, and there's actually some severe weather on Wednesday and on Thursday, as there's a slight risk on Wednesday and a 15% chance on Thursday. So make sure to stay tuned to my X and Facebook pages. I'll provide updates on what the risks will be and the timing, as it's looking like we could be coming in on an uptick in some severe weather by the end of this week. Stark contrast from that big snowstorm y'all got in on, I think, a week or two ago. So prepare for that, y'all, down there, as we're coming in on our big old severe weather season. And once we move past that, it's looking like really much of the eastern half of the country is coming into a soggy pattern, while the northwest is coming in on a lot of heavy snow and heavy rain, which could mean some atmospheric river-like conditions. And it's looking like California could be coming in on some wildfire relief as we head into the beginning parts of February, with the deep south still coming in on more severe weather. more heavy snow up here up in the Cascades and Sierra Nevadas. Some wildfire relief down here in Southern California by the 6th, which is actually a double-edged sword because any sort of rainfall is going to lead to landslides and mudslides, rock slides, and just dangerous conditions. So I feel for y'all out there still. And it's looking like, I know this is well over 200 hours out, but it's looking like we could be coming in on a snowstorm somewhere here in the eastern half of the country as we head into the middle parts of February. We can see much of the country is dealing with a very soggy start to February, except for the southwest and down by Florida. Next 8 to 14 days, really about the same story, so looking like we could be starting off warm and be dealing with some severe weather. And then the middle parts of February coming back into this cold pattern, which could mean some more snow for the eastern half of the country, unfortunately. So let's go and take a look at the temperature. Now, we all know January, like I said earlier, was very frigid and we had a lot of snow. And we're going to be gradually warming up as we head towards the end of this month, and that's why they issued a slight risk down here in parts of Texas and a 15% chance as well by the end of this week, as we're going to be gradually warming up. We're going to be about 80 degrees down here in Louisiana, stark contrast to what it was a week or two ago when it was in the negatives down there. Y'all got in on right around a foot of snow almost. And we can see 70-degree temperatures stretching its way towards the north. And this is why the long-range models are showing above average temperatures for the eastern half of the country, is because we're going to be coming in on this gradual warm-up. And we can see 70-degree temperatures as far north as Indiana by February 8th. And then it's going to drastically change as we head into the middle parts of February, because this cold air is going to start to stretch its way down again. Don't get used to these nice temperatures just yet, y'all, because it's looking like heading to the middle parts of the month could be very drastically cold, as wintertime is not over. And we can see 6 to 10 day outlook by the Climate Prediction Center as we head into February. The Northwest down into California dealing with some below average temperatures, while the rest of the country is coming into a little bit of a warm up. But don't get used to it though, because looking like that cold air is going to stretch its way down again as we head into the middle parts of the month. So basically, we're going to be heading into a fool's spring, as they say. And Groundhog Day is actually coming up. So let's go and take a look at the forecast for that. We're going to wind this to Groundhog Day and show you the total cloud cover. This is the percentage of cloud cover. I think it's right around 10 o'clock in the morning. So basically it's going to be 100% cloudy on that day, according to the GFS. So Punxsutawney Phil is not going to be seeing his shadow. As we take a look at the Farmer's Almanac, we can see that they're predicting that he will not see his shadow either. So basically that means that we're going to be having an early spring, but don't get fooled yet though, because even though it's going to start to warm up as we head into the beginning parts of February, and y'all are going to be out there being like, oh, it's going to be spring here soon, don't get fooled, because cold air is going to be coming in right behind it, and we're going to be in this volatile temperature pattern. Could mean severe weather one week and a blizzard the next week, so definitely prepare for that. And that's my prediction of what we could expect for this February. And the Farmer's Almanac is basically in agreement with this. It's basically showing you what the groundhog is going to be predicting, which don't trust the groundhog. And for those who watched the IMSA race yesterday, y'all know what I mean. This is me giving the middle finger to winter, giving winter to the bird, because January was so freaking cold. It was too cold to be exact. Hopefully that groundhog is right. Most likely he's not, so that's unfortunate, but winter can't be over soon enough. Let's go and get into this month in weather history, starting off with the Revolutionary War back on February 27th, 1776, the Battle of Moores Creek Bridge. Although not directly a weather event because they didn't keep weather records back then, it was influenced by the conditions of the season, including cold and possibly wet weather, which could have affected the movement and strategy of the forces involved. This event was significant as it largely quieted Loyalist activity in the Carolinas for 3 years. Weather history during the Civil War, we have 3 events that occurred. 1862, the Battle of Mill Springs in Kentucky was significantly impacted by weather with heavy rain, fog, flooding, and mud, affecting Confederate movements and contributing to their defeat. This battle was one of the first Union victories of the war and highlighted the influence of weather on military engagements. February of 1863, the infamous Mud March, led by Union General Ambrose Burnside after the Battle of Fredericksburg, was a testament to how February weather could thwart military plans. A sudden storm with numbing temperatures and heavy precipitation turned the landscape into a quagmire, leading to the failure of the Union advance, demoralizing the troops. February of 1865, General William T. Sherman's march into South Carolina was executed despite massive storms, showcasing how weather could both hinder and be overcome in military operations. This event was crucial as it led to the capture of Columbia and Charleston, important Confederate cities. Here's some other weather events in February weather history. The ball lightning in Bar Harbor, Maine, 1853. On February 13th, 1853, Bar Harbor, Maine, now say that 10 times fast, experienced a bizarre weather event involving ball lightning during a storm. Accounts describe vivid purple lightning appearing like balls of fire entering homes through windows, doors, and chimneys. This is probably where Prince got his idea for the Purple Rain song, because of the purple lightning that occurred in 1853. Record snowfall in February of 1962. Southeast South Dakota experienced a record-setting amount of snow in February of 1962, with accumulations ranging from 30 to 50 inches. This led to significant disruptions, including flooding and snowmelt and ice breakup. The St. Valentine's Day blizzard of 1940. New England was hit with a significant blizzard on February 14th in 1940, with up to 18 inches of snow, causing widespread stranding and disruptions, especially in Boston. Significant tornado outbreaks. There has been tornado outbreaks in February. February has occasionally seen tornado outbreaks like the one on February 8th and 9th of 2023 across parts of Louisiana, Alabama, and Florida, where 10 tornadoes, including 2 EF2s, were confirmed. Another event in February 2016 saw rare February tornadoes in Virginia. Blizzard in Boston of 1969, known as the 100-Hour Storm. This event from February 24th to 28th brought 26.3 inches of snow to Boston, marking it as one of the city's largest snowstorms. Historic cold in New England of 1784. Following the Laki eruption in Iceland, February 1784 was marked by severe winter conditions, with ice flows even reaching the Gulf of Mexico via the Mississippi River. So you can see fluctuations of the weather conditions in February. We can have severe weather one week, blizzards the next. So basically that's what we're going to be coming into this upcoming month. And here are some interesting February facts and some folklore put together for y'all. Groundhog Day is actually originated from German folklore. This tradition predicts weather patterns based on whether the groundhog sees a shadow upon emerging from its burrow. Seeing a shadow means 6 more weeks of winter. No shadow suggests an early spring, so most likely he's not going to be seeing his shadows, so that's good. But most likely the groundhog is going to be wrong because February is such a volatile month when it comes to the weather. Number 2, Valentine's Day. The Legends of Saint Valentine. One legend speaks of a priest named Valentine who defied Emperor Claudius II's ban on marriage for young men, kind of like Romeo and Juliet, secretly performing weddings for them. Another tale suggests he was imprisoned for these acts and sent the first Valentine's greeting himself to his jailer's daughters, signing it "From your Valentine," a phrase still used today. Historic roots of Valentine's Day. The romantic connotations of Valentine's Day might trace back to the Roman festival Lupercalia, observed from February 13th to 15th, which involved fertility rites and matchmaking games. Pope Callias I is said to have replaced Lupercalia with St. Valentine's Day in the 5th century. So this goes all the way back to the 5th century, y'all. Chaucer's influence. Geoffrey Chaucer and his contemporaries are credited with linking St. Valentine's Day to romance, with his poem Parliament of Fowls mentioning that birds choose their mates on this day, symbolizing love. Number 3, Imbolc. February 1st and 2nd, a Gallic festival marking the beginning of spring associated with the goddess Brigid, known for poetry, smithcraft, and healing. It was later Christianized into St. Brigid's Day, with traditions like making Brigid's cross from straw or reeds for protection. Number 4, the month of purification. February derives from februm, Latin for purification. The Romans celebrated February, a ritual of cleansing and renewal to prepare for the new year. Here are some interesting facts of February. Of course, we all know February is the shortest day of the year, but can have one extra day due to a leap year. And leap years are added every 4 years to align the calendar year with the solar year. It can be modified for century years, which they're divisible by 400. For example, 2000 was a leap year, 2100 won't be. President's Day is celebrated on the third Monday. It was originally set to honor George Washington's birthday, but now is broadly celebrated for all U.S. presidents. Meteorological versus astronomical winter. February concludes meteorological winter, but can overlap into astronomical winter, which ends with the spring equinox. The amethyst, February birthstone. Amethyst was thought to protect against intoxication and was used for clarity of mind, stemming from the Greek amethystos, meaning not intoxicated. Valentine's Day traditions, heart shapes. The heart symbol became associated with love around the 15th century, with the first known use of the heart shape on a Valentine's greeting in 1737. Cards and gifts. The tradition of sending Valentine's cards began in the 15th century as well, with the oldest known Valentine in existence being a poem written by Charles Duke of Orleans to his wife in 1415. Commercial cards became popular in the 19th century, and today, billions are exchanged annually. Roses and chocolate. Red roses symbolize love due to their association with Venus, the Roman goddess of love. Chocolate became a popular gift in the 19th century thanks to marketing by companies like Cadbury, which began selling boxes of chocolate in heart-shaped containers for Valentine's Day. So there's the traditions and the facts of the month of February. Basically, Groundhog Day, Valentine's Day, and President's Day make up the whole month of February. And here is the most popular Valentine's gifts in the U.S. Number 1 being candies and sweets. Number 3 being flowers. That's surprising. And number 2 is greeting cards. The last is a pet. Please don't gift a pet, because usually go to a shelter and get euthanized. Please don't do that, y'all. I know it's nice. I know it's great, but please don't do it, because most likely those get given up to animal shelter and usually are let loose and they wind up dying. Don't do that, y'all. And 11% don't know what they're going to get yet. Valentine's Day is a made-up holiday. So I hope y'all enjoyed today's little weather forecast. If you did, make sure you leave a like and share so more folks are informed about the weather. Also, leave me some feedback in the comment section down below the video, as feedback helps provide you, the viewer, better and more informative content in the future. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button with bell notifications turned on, because at Hero Williams Weather, we make weather forecasting fun and informative. I also have a Rumble channel if you want to check that out. It's WilliamsWX98. I would greatly appreciate that, y'all. And I thank every single one of y'all for tuning in. So basically, this month is going to be a volatile month for weather, as we're going to be starting off warm, and we're going to be ending the month in a little bit of a colder pattern. So, which means that we could be having severe weather one week and blizzards the next, so prepare for that. And it's looking like California is going to be coming in on some water relief, so look forward to that as well. Although it's kind of a double-edged sword, because even though you are getting rain, burn scars could lead to mudslides and rock slides and just more problems. I feel bad for y'all, but it's looking like y'all are finally getting the help y'all need, so that's good, some good news. So again, enjoy February, and if you want to be my Valentine, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe down below. That'd be the best Valentine's Day gift I could receive. I would greatly appreciate that, y'all. So again, have a great February, y'all, and until next time, appreciate y'all for watching, and never stop forecasting.